Psalm 18:35 says this, Thou hast also given me the strength of thy salvation, and thy right hand hath upholden me, and thy gentleness hath made me great. God doesn't drive. He leads. And there's a big difference. He says in Psalm 23, The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Doesn't that sound like a gentle shepherd as he's leading the sheep and he's walking them around and he's helping them? But you know what you won't find? He's not driving the sheep. He's leading them. And you know what? If you don't want to do God's will, you don't have to do God's will. Isn't that amazing how it works? Nobody has to be in church tonight. Now don't get up and leave. You don't have to be here tonight. You don't have to read your Bible. You don't have to go soul winning. But when you let God lead, isn't it the greatest thing in the world? How many times have we misstepped or misspoke or did something wrong and we didn't get struck with light? And so they take that as, oh, well then God must be okay with it. No, you misunderstand the one characteristic of God is that He's a gentle shepherd and that He will just lead. And if you'll come to Him, He'll give you rest. But if you won't come, He's not going to come yank you and drag you under His wings. No, He says, hey, how often would I have gathered you as a hen doth her chicks? But ye would not! But see, Jesus, He's that gentle shepherd. He says, when you're ready, come on home. Think of the prodigal son. Give me all my goods! Okay. And he waited patiently for his son to return. You know, Elijah had to learn that when he was listening for the voice of God and he wasn't in the earthquake, right? Wasn't in the fire. Where was he? In the still small voice. You want God's will for your life? You'll fully surrender. Have thine own way, Lord. Lord, I want to be a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto you. But we're waiting for God to force us. Well, God hadn't forced me, then it must not be His will. No, you misunderstood. God's gentle. He'll gently lead. Now, there are repercussions. Just as in the parable of the prodigal son, it did end up bad for him. And when he finally came to his senses, he came back home, and there was the father still waiting, rejoicing, killing the fatted calf, bringing him home. But there's a gentleness there.